My sister-in-law sat across from me at our family dinner and said, "Ryan, I have proof you're cheating on Emily. I know what you've been doing." After 12 years of marriage, that was the moment everything changed. My name's Ryan Carter, 40 years old, an architect based in Seattle. I'd built a solid life with my wife, Emily, filled with love, trust, and a shared dream of renovating her family's old cabin in the Cascades. But that Friday night, at her parents' house in Bellevue, my sister-in-law Lauren decided to tear it all apart with a lie. I looked at her, then at Emily, whose face had gone pale, and stayed calm. "Show me," I said. Lauren smirked, thinking she'd won. She didn't know I'd been recording everything for months. Emily and I met in 2011 at a design conference in Portland. I was 26, just starting my career, and she was 25, a graphic designer with a laugh that made my chest ache. We fell hard, married 2 years later, and settled in Seattle to build our careers. We didn't have kids yet, but we had plans, dreams, a life we loved. Emily's family welcomed me warmly, or so I thought. Her parents, Tom and Susan, treated me like a son. But Lauren, her younger sister, was different. At 34, Lauren was single, bitter, and obsessed with the family cabin, a property Emily and I inherited when Tom retired. I always sensed she resented me for it. Lauren's hostility started small. At family gatherings, she'd make snide comments about my long hours. "An architect's life is so glamorous," she'd say, her tone dripping with sarcasm. "Must be nice. To leave Emily alone all the time." I brushed it off, thinking she was just jealous of our happiness. But 6 months ago, things escalated. She started texting Emily late at night, planting doubts. I'd see Emily staring at her phone, her brow furrowed. Then she'd ask me questions. "Why were you late last Thursday? Who's the new client you've been meeting?" I answered honestly, but I could feel her trust slipping. I knew Lauren was behind it. 3 months ago, I overheard her on the phone at a barbecue. "Emily deserves better," she said, her voice low. "He's probably cheating. We need to get her out of that marriage." My blood ran cold. Lauren wasn't just jealous. She wanted to break us apart, likely to get her hands on the cabin, which she'd always claimed should be hers. I didn't confront her. Instead, I started preparing. I installed security cameras in our condo after a neighbor mentioned break-ins. They recorded audio and uploaded to a cloud server Emily didn't know about. I also kept a log of my schedule, emails, and receipts, documenting every meeting, every late night. The dinner at Tom and Susan's was supposed to be a celebration. Susan had just retired from teaching, and we were toasting to new beginnings. I brought blueprints for the cabin renovation, excited to share our plans. But Lauren had other ideas. After dessert, she pulled out her phone and showed Emily a photo. It was grainy, but it looked like me with another woman at a cafe downtown. Emily's eyes filled with tears. "Ryan, how could you?" she whispered. I looked at the photo. The man had my build, my haircut, but it wasn't me. I knew Lauren had. "Staged it." I stayed calm. "That's not me," I said. Lauren smirked. "I have more proof, Ryan. Texts, emails, everything." I nodded. "Show me." Emily wouldn't look at me. Her parents sat in stunned silence as Lauren scrolled through her phone, pulling up screenshots. "Here's a text from Ryan to his mistress," she said, showing a message from my number to an unknown contact. "I can't wait to see you tonight, baby," it read. I recognized the number. It was a burner phone I'd never seen. Lauren had faked it. "I also have an email," she continued, showing a message from my work account to a woman named Jessica, arranging a hotel meetup. I knew I'd never sent it. My account had been hacked, or she'd fabricated it entirely. Emily started crying. "Ryan, just tell the truth," she said. I looked at Lauren, her eyes gleaming with triumph. I could have lost my temper, called her out right there, but I knew better. I'd spent my career designing buildings, solving problems with precision. This was no different. I had evidence, and I'd use it when the time was right. "I'm not cheating," I told Emily, my voice steady. "Lauren's lying," but Emily shook her head. I need space, Ryan. I can't do this right now. She left the table, and Lauren followed, whispering something to her. Tom and Susan looked at me, unsure. I'm sorry, Ryan, Susan said. This is a lot. I nodded. I understand. I'll fix this. I drove home alone, Emily staying at her parents' for the night. Our condo felt empty without her, but I wasn't defeated. I opened my laptop and logged into the security camera footage. 2 weeks ago, I'd caught Lauren in our living room while Emily was at work. She was on the phone, pacing. Emily will leave him once I show her the texts, she said. I'll make sure she signs the cabin over to me. I saved the clip. Then I checked my email logs. The message to Jessica had been sent from my account, but from an IP address I didn't recognize. Lauren had gotten in somehow, probably during a family visit. I called my best friend Mark, a cybersecurity consultant. I think my sister-in-law hacked my email, I told him. Can you trace it? Mark agreed to help. I'll run a scan, he said. If she accessed your account, I'll find the proof. I thanked him and spent the night gathering more evidence. My schedule log, showing I was at client meetings during the alleged cafe meetup, receipts for those meetings, proving my whereabouts. I also pulled up Lauren's social media, finding posts where she'd bragged about wanting the cabin. She'd been planning this for months. By morning, Mark called. She used a public Wi-Fi network at a coffee shop in Bellevue to access your email, he said. I've got the IP address and timestamps. It matches the day the fake email was sent. I smiled. That's what I needed. I knew Emily wouldn't believe me without hard proof. Lauren had poisoned her trust, but I could get it back. I just needed the right moment. I texted Emily. I'm sorry for what you're going through. Let's talk when you're ready. I love you. She didn't reply, but I wasn't worried. Lauren thought she'd broken us. She was about to learn how wrong she was. Saturday morning, I woke up to an empty bed, the silence of our condo heavier than ever. Emily hadn't come home, and her silence spoke louder than any words. I knew Lauren was filling her head with more lies, trying to drive a wedge between us that couldn't be undone. My phone buzzed with a text from Emily. I'm staying with Mom and Dad for a few days. I need time to think. Please don't call. My chest tightened, but I didn't reply. I wasn't going to beg. I was going to fight, not with words, but with proof. Lauren thought she'd broken us apart. She didn't know I was already 3 steps ahead. I called Mark, my cybersecurity friend, for an update. I've got more, he said. The IP address from the coffee shop in Bellevue matches Lauren's phone activity. She was there the day your email was hacked. I also found a deleted post on her social media from 2 months ago. She bragged about getting access to someone's account for a prank. It's circumstantial, but it ties her to the hack. I nodded. That's good. What about the burner phone? Mark replied, it's a prepaid number, bought with cash at a convenience store near her apartment. No direct proof it's hers, but the timing matches the fake texts. I thanked him. Keep digging. I need everything airtight. Next, I reviewed the security footage again. The clip of Lauren in our living room was damning, but I found another from a month ago. She was at our place for dinner, and while Emily was in the kitchen, Lauren sat at my desk using my laptop. She must have gotten my email password then. I saved the footage along with timestamps showing I wasn't home during the supposed cafe meetup in her fake photo. I also pulled up my client emails confirming meetings with a contractor in Tacoma that day. Lauren's lies were crumbling piece by piece. That afternoon I drove to Bellevue to see Tom, Emily's dad. I needed an ally in the family, someone who'd listen. Susan answered the door, her face strained. Ryan, this isn't a good time, she said. Emily's a mess. I nodded. I know. But I need to speak with Tom, please. She hesitated, then let me in. Tom was in the living room watching a Mariners game. He muted the TV when he saw me. What's going on, Ryan? He asked. I took a deep breath. Lauren's lying. She faked evidence to make Emily think I'm cheating. She wants us to break up so she can get the cabin. Tom frowned. That's a serious accusation. Do you have proof? I pulled out my phone and showed him the security footage of Lauren on her call. Emily will leave him once I show her the texts, she said. I'll make sure she signs the cabin over to me. Tom's jaw tightened. He watched the second clip, Lauren on my laptop, and shook his head. I had no idea, he said. What do you need from me? I need you to get Emily to a family dinner tomorrow night, I replied. I'll handle the rest. Tom agreed, and I left, feeling a small victory. But the tension was far from over. That evening, Lauren texted me directly. I know you're trying to turn Emily against me, she wrote. It won't work. She'll never believe you over me. I didn't respond. Instead, I called a friend at the Seattle PD, Officer Dan Hayes, who owed me a favor after I designed his precinct's new break room pro bono. I need a background check on Lauren, I said. She's trying to ruin my marriage with fake evidence. Dan agreed to look into her. I also asked him to trace the burner phone number, hoping for a break. Sunday morning, Emily texted again. Lauren says you're lying to cover your tracks. I don't know who to believe. I'm so confused, I replied. This time, I love you, Emily. Come to dinner at your parents' tonight. I'll show you the truth. She didn't respond, but I knew she'd be there. I spent the day preparing. I compiled the security footage, Mark's IP logs, my schedule, and receipts into a single file on a USB drive. I also backed up everything to a cloud server, just in case Lauren tried something desperate. I knew she'd fight dirty. She'd already hacked my email, faked texts, and staged photos. But I was ready. That afternoon, Dan called. Your sister-in-law's got a history, he said. She was charged with identity theft 3 years ago, but the case was dropped for lack of evidence. She's also got a credit card in someone else's. Name, a cousin she lived with in Portland, and that burner phone. It pinged a tower near her apartment the day those texts were sent. I smiled. That's what I needed. Thanks, Dan. I hung up, adding his findings to my file. Lauren wasn't just manipulative, she was a criminal, and I had the proof to expose her. I arrived at Tom and Susan's house at 6, the USB drive in my pocket. Emily was already there, sitting at the dining table, her eyes red from crying. Lauren sat next to her, holding her hand, playing the supportive sister. Tom and Susan were tense, knowing what was coming. I took my seat across from Lauren, my expression neutral. Thanks for coming, Ryan, Susan said, trying to keep the peace. Let's eat. We passed the mashed potatoes and roasted chicken in silence, the air thick with tension. Lauren kept glancing at me, her smirk barely hidden. She thought she'd won. She thought Emily was hers to manipulate. Halfway through dinner, Lauren spoke. So Ryan, have you told Emily the truth yet about your little affair? Emily looked down, her fork trembling. I set mine down and met Lauren's gaze. I've told her the truth, I said, that you've been lying to her, that you faked everything to break us apart. Lauren laughed. That's ridiculous. I have proof. You're just trying to save yourself. I nodded. Let's see your proof then. Show us all. She pulled out her phone, displaying the fake texts and emails again. Emily started to cry. Lauren put an arm around her. It's okay, Em. You don't need him. I stood, pulling the USB drive from my pocket. I have proof too, I said. Let's watch it together. Tom brought his laptop and I plugged in the drive. The first clip played, Lauren in our living room, on her phone. Emily will leave him once I show her the texts, she said. I'll make sure she signs the cabin over to me. Emily gasped, looking at Lauren. What is this? She whispered. Lauren's face went pale. That's not real, she stammered. He edited it. I played the second clip, Lauren on my laptop, accessing my email. Then I showed the IP logs, the burner phone records, Dan's background check. Lauren's lies were unraveling in front of everyone. Emily stood, tears streaming down her face. You did this? She asked Lauren. You tried to ruin my marriage for a cabin? Lauren shook her head. No, Emily. He's lying. I was protecting you. But Emily turned to me, her voice breaking. Ryan, I'm so sorry. I should have trusted you. I took her hand. It's okay. I knew the truth would come out. Lauren bolted from the table, but I wasn't done. She'd tried to destroy my life. Now it was time to finish this, once and for all. Lauren ran out of the dining room, her face pale. But I wasn't letting her escape that easily. I followed her to the front porch, Emily right behind me, her voice shaking with anger. "Lauren, how could you do this to us?" she demanded. Lauren turned, her eyes wide with panic. "You're going to believe him over me? Your own sister?" Emily stepped forward, tears streaming down her face. "I saw the footage, Lauren. I heard you plotting to break us up for the cabin. You lied to me. You made me doubt the man I love." Lauren stammered, trying to backtrack. "It was a joke, Em. I didn't mean it." But the damage was done. Everyone had seen the truth. Tom and Susan joined us on the porch, their expressions a mix of shock and disappointment. "Lauren," Tom said, his voice low, "you need to leave. Now." Lauren's jaw dropped. "Dad, you can't be serious. I'm your daughter." Susan shook her head. "You've hurt your sister," Susan said. "You've hurt this family. Until you can own up to what you've done, you're not welcome here." Lauren's eyes filled with tears, but they weren't tears of remorse. They were tears of frustration, of a plan unraveling. She glared at me, her voice venomous. "This isn't over, Ryan. I'll make you pay for this." I met her gaze, unflinching. "I'd like to see you try." She stormed off into the night, her car peeling out of the driveway. Emily collapsed into my arms, sobbing. "I'm so sorry, Ryan," she said. "I should have trusted you." I held her tight, feeling her warmth against me, the weight of the past few days lifting. "It's okay," I whispered. "We're okay now." Tom and Susan watched us, their faces softening. "We're sorry too, Ryan," Tom said. "We should have seen through. Lauren sooner." I nodded. "Let's just move forward. That's all I want." We went back inside, the dinner forgotten, and spent the evening talking, rebuilding the trust Lauren had tried to shatter. Monday morning, I called Officer Dan Hayes with the Seattle PD. "I've got evidence of identity theft and fraud," I told him, sending over Lauren's background check, the burner phone records, and the IP logs from her email hack. Dan reviewed the files. "This is solid," he said. "With her prior charge in Portland, we can build a case. We'll bring her in for questioning today." I thanked him and hung up, feeling a sense of finality. Lauren wasn't just a manipulator. She was a criminal, and she'd face the consequences. Noon, Dan called back. "We picked her up at her apartment," he said. "She's denying everything, but we found the burner phone in her purse, and her laptop has traces of your email login. She's being charged with identity theft, fraud, and harassment. She's looking at up to 3 years if convicted." I nodded. "Good. Keep me posted. I didn't care about the punishment as much as the accountability." Lauren needed to learn that actions have consequences, something she'd never understood. That evening, Emily and I sat down to talk, really talk, for the first time in days. She held my hand, her eyes still red but clear. "I feel so stupid," she said. "Lauren's always been jealous, but I never thought she'd go this far." I squeezed her hand. "She fooled us all." "But it's over now," Emily nodded. "What about the cabin?" I smiled. "We'll renovate it together, like we planned. Lauren won't touch it." Emily leaned in, kissing me softly. "I love you, Ryan. I love you." "Too," I replied, feeling whole again. Over the next few weeks, things settled. Lauren's case moved forward, and she took a plea deal, 1 year of probation and community service, plus a fine. She was banned from contacting us, a restraining order Tom insisted on. The family dynamic shifted. Tom and Susan stopped speaking, to Lauren focusing on repairing their relationship with Emily. We invited them to the cabin for a weekend, showing them the blueprints I'd drawn up. "It's beautiful, Ryan," Susan said, tearing up as she saw the plans for a new deck overlooking the lake. "You two deserve this happiness." Emily and I threw ourselves into the renovation, spending weekends in the Cascades, hammering nails and painting walls. It wasn't just about fixing the cabin, it was about fixing us. We talked more, laughed more, rediscovered the spark that Lauren had tried to extinguish. One evening, as we sat by a campfire, Emily looked at me, her eyes reflecting the flames. "I almost lost you," she said. I shook my head. "You never would have. I'd fight for us, always." She smiled, resting her head on my shoulder. "I know that now. I heard through Tom that Lauren had moved to Portland. starting over with a new job at a retail store. She'd lost her graphic design clients after word of her arrest spread, her reputation in tatters. I didn't feel sorry for her. She'd tried to destroy my marriage, my life, all for a piece of property. But I didn't need revenge. Exposing her, saving my marriage, that was enough. The cabin became our sanctuary, a symbol of what we'd overcome. We finished the renovation 6 months later, inviting friends for a housewarming party. Laughter filled the air, and Emily's smile was brighter than I'd seen in years. Back in Seattle, my career took off. A major client loved the cabin design and hired me to oversee a new community project in Tacoma, my biggest contract yet. Emily started painting again, her artwork decorating our condo and the cabin, her passion reignited. We were stronger than ever, a team Lauren couldn't break. I thought about her sometimes, not with anger, but with a strange gratitude. She'd tested us, and we'd come out better for it. One night, as Emily and I sat on our balcony, watching the Seattle skyline, she squeezed my hand. "Thank you for fighting for us," she said. I smiled, kissing her forehead. Always. My phone buzzed with an email from the Tacoma client confirming a start date. I set it aside, focusing on the moment. Lauren had tried to tear us apart, but she'd only made us stronger. She'd wanted the cabin, but we'd turned it into a home, a testament to our love, our resilience. Some battles aren't about winning, but about standing your ground. Lauren thought she could control our future, rewrite our story with her lies. But I'd held the pen all along, writing the ending she never saw coming. As the city lights twinkled below, I knew we'd built something unbreakable, something hers could never touch. Truth doesn't just set you free. It builds a foundation nothing can shake, and that's exactly what Emily and I had, now and forever.